What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel, Wealth Hacker Labs. As you can see, we have another wealth board edition. And today's wealth board topic is talking about investing. So why am I talking about investing? Well, the reason is that the most reoccurring comment that I get on the channel is, Jeff, how do I start investing? And for most people, the reason that they don't start investing, it's not that they don't know where to go. I mean, that's part of it, but the reality is that's because they just don't have the confidence, they don't have the clarity in knowing and understanding how investing works. Because if you understand how it works, if you understood that, then you would already be investing and you would already be making money. So what I want to help give you some peace of mind and ease that transition of not investing to finally becoming an investor, I want to answer and give you the 7 things that you need to know before you start. Before we get started, let me ask a quick favor. Will you smash that like button and also answer the question in the pinned comment, because I want to know where you are at in your investing journey. So smash it, answer, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that you need to know when it comes to investing is that you want to start now, and you also want to start small. And we'll get to the small part, but as far as starting now, what are you waiting for? I don't care if you don't know what a mutual fund is. I don't care if you don't know what an ETF is. Honestly, it doesn't matter. There are so many different investment platforms that exist out there that you can get started now, and you can get started small. Chances are, don't take offense, but if you're watching this, you probably don't have $1 million to start investing. Heck, you probably don't even have $1,000 to start investing, and that's okay. You can start small. In fact, when I first started investing myself, I was putting in a whopping $25 per month into a mutual fund. Actually, it was a crappy mutual fund, but I got started. The reason that you want to start now, well, there's 2 reasons. We'll get to the second reason on point number 2, but the first is just experience. If you don't know anything about investing, one of the easiest ways that you can learn is to just do. Just do it! And there are so many different apps that you can get started with, no money down. You got your Wealthfront, you got your Betterments, you've got your Robinhoods. I mean, there's so many different places that you can start investing with minimal money. So as we also talked about, there's another point with starting now, and the second point is compounding interest. And I know you've heard this time and time again, but I want to spend a little bit of time here because compounding interest, if you don't get this, this is just the idea of your money growing over a period of time. The more time you have on your side, the longer it has to grow, the larger that it can be. But this is by far the biggest obstacle that I see why most people quit investing, or they just, when they start investing, they stop adding to it. And just to kind of give you just some numbers to kind of chew on, if you were investing $100 a month, and you are making 10% interest. If you did so over a 10-year period, you would have accumulated, these are all gonna be roundabout numbers, you would have accumulated about $20,000. And now we're gonna carry that over 20, 30, and 40 years. So $100 a month, 10% interest, you have accumulated $20,000 after 10 years. I mean, that's a long time. Like, that's 10 years of your life and you've got $10,000. That's great and everything, but check this out. After 20 years, you're now up to $76,000. After 30 years, we're up to $225,000. And after 40 years, we are at $635,000. That is compounding interest. But that took 40 years to get to 635,000. After 10, you only have 20. Most people, they get stuck there. They only see what's right in front of them. They can't see what's 10, 20, 30, or 40 years down the road. But the whole key is just to start now, start small, and let that compounding interest take shape. All right, the third thing that you need to know about investing, and I get this one all the time, but investing is not, and I'm underlining this, gambling. Unless So first, let's just start with investing is not gambling. If you ever hear anybody say this, they obviously don't understand investing. They don't understand compounding interest. They don't know how the stock market works. Chances are they have a very broke mindset, what I would refer to as a butt pew. If you don't know what a butt pew is, I'll have a link in the description. You can check out what a butt pew is. These are the people that you want to avoid. Typically, if somebody's saying that investing is gambling, you want to avoid them because they're a butt pew. All right, moving on. So unless, is it gambling? It isn't unless you are trying to make a quick return on investment that you just don't understand. And probably the two biggest culprits I see with this are penny stocks, and here recently would be crypto. And there are other forms of this, but I would say these are by far the most two reoccurring things that I see. Penny stocks, the attraction there is that you can get into a stock with next to nothing. You could have $500 and get thousands of shares. You know, you're buying a stock that's typically traded for less than $1, anywhere between less than $5, but you're buying, let's say, a stock at a price about 25 cents a share, so you can buy a lot of them, and the hope is that that stock's gonna go from 25 cents on up to $8 a share, and now you're gonna make out like a bandit. I'll tell you, I've had so many people buy penny stocks, and I think I've seen one person actually make money, and they made about $20,000. So it wasn't the millionaires that people see. Crypto, same thing. I've actually seen more people lose money because they didn't buy into Bitcoin until after the crash. They were buying it at the peak, lost a lot of money. Point is that investing is not gambling as long as you understand what you're getting yourself into. All right, the fourth thing that you need to know about investing is inflation is real. I'm circling real. Most people, chances are you're watching this, I've got a much younger demographic. You know, inflation, you think about inflation, you think of old people, you think about gasoline and the price of milk, but really what inflation is purchasing power. What your dollar is worth today, is it going to be the same a year from now, 5 years from now, 20 years from now? And let me tell you that inflation is real. Purchasing power is real. And I had to look up a few specific examples just so I could relate to inflation and the purchasing power. But so check this out. For those that don't know, I'm a huge Jordan 1 fan. I've got tons of Jordan 1 shoes. So whenever the Jordan 1 first released, this thing was priced at $65 for the Chicago Reds. $65. I would love to have the original. I do have the 2015 OGs, that's for another video. Another example here is In-N-Out Burger. If you didn't know this, I'm a huge In-N-Out Burger fan. So back in, I think it was 1948, In-N-Out Burger first came out, and you could buy a cheeseburger for 25 cents. So now an In-N-Out cheeseburger, I think it's about $3 or $4, worth every single penny. A Jordan 1, if you're getting a new release right now, if you get a retail, it's gonna be about $160, $175. Now, if you're buying some Travis Scott's off of StockX, you're gonna spend anywhere from $800 on up to $1,200. I know because I got me a pair. But that is where inflation and purchasing power affects you. Maybe you're not into Jordan 1s, maybe you're not into In-N-Out Burger, but there are plenty of other areas of your life where this is going to play a factor and why you need to invest. All right, moving on to number 5, the fifth thing that you need to know why you are investing is because this is how the rich get richer. Let's face it. If you want to build wealth, if you want to hack your wealth, if you want any hope of retiring early or just achieving financial independence, you have to start investing. The stock market is average anywhere from 10 to 11%. That is just for general stocks. That's on the average. If you are investing into yourself, into businesses, into investments that carry more risk, you could stand to make a lot more. You could also lose a lot more as well. But this is how the rich get richer. They are investing their money. Now, are they buying stocks and mutual funds like the common investor? Probably not. I'm sure they have some of their portfolio into the holdings that we would have, but you don't get there overnight. You have to start investing into something that is available to you. So that's why all these different apps that I mentioned before, they make sense. Is that where you're going to build true wealth over the long term? Eventually, no. You've got to start investing into other things that are going to give you higher return, but you've got to start. And the only way to get started is to open the account, put some money in, and learn through trial and error. All right, number six. Number six is, once again, I won't say it's the most important thing, but this is the one that definitely derails a lot of people. But when it comes to investing, it is guaranteed that you are going to lose money. It is unavoidable. You are going to lose money. I don't care how great of an investor you are. And right now, millennials, even some of you Gen Xers that just started investing for the first time, we have had an amazing run on the market. 2008 was the last time that we've had a bad market, and it is what? What year is it? Exactly. We've had one of the most epic market rallies in history. And many of you haven't experienced the 2008, the 2001, 2002, the 73, 74 oil crisis, which that's beyond my years as well. Nonetheless, I was here for 2008, I was here for 2001, 2002. And if you've not been a part of that, that's a true gut check. You know, if you've been investing and you've got your money into mutual funds or ETFs, and you know, you've gained to where now you got about a $10,000 portfolio, like you're feeling really good about yourself, and all of a sudden we have a similar 2008 crash, and now your $10,000 portfolio is now worth $6,000, and this happens over the course of like 2.5 months, you're gonna freak out. I guarantee you are going to freak out. But you see where the market is today, right? And you can go back to 2001, 2002. That was 2 consecutive years, 2 consecutive down years in the market. Actually, 2000, 2001, and 2002. So we had 3 straight years being down in the market. So imagine losing 3 straight years. Would you still invest money? Would you still put money into the market? Chances are you wouldn't. You say you might until you're actually in the middle of it. Most people can't stomach this. As long as you know that you're guaranteed to lose money at some point, but it's a matter of how long you're staying in. Going back to the compounding interest, when we're investing $100 a month over a 30 or 40 year period, like some of those years we're going to lose money. It's just a matter of time. But the key is staying in the market and letting that time recoup to where we can get those losses back. All right, we're moving on to the last one, and it's about to get emotional. I get so emotional, baby. All right, well, maybe not, but with the rule number 7 when it comes to investing is that don't get emotional. Emotions are going to play a huge part when it comes to investing. What I mean is that you're investing money and you think you're doing good, and we have a crisis like this where you see your portfolio start to drop. And you're like, okay, well, I see a few negatives. And then you log on to wherever you get your news from, and you see all the headlines about the market crashing and a global crisis and all the different things going on. All of a sudden, like, fear is creeping in. I saw this 2008, I saw this 2001, 2002, where headlines were driving people to do things that were just irrational. That's letting emotions come into play. Other ways I've seen emotions come into play when it comes to investing is that when you buy an investment, let's say that you buy a stock of Facebook and it's worth $50 a share, and then it drops down to $25 a share, and you don't want to sell because you want to wait until it gets back to at least what you paid for it so that you can break even. This is what we call the disposition effect. You just can't stomach losing any more. You can't stand losing money, so you don't want to sell. But what happens, obviously, with Facebook, that stock is doing pretty well. But imagine that it wasn't Facebook, it was Yahoo. And you never got back to that break-even point. It just kept going down and going down and going down until finally you lost everything that you had, where if you would have sold it previously, yes, you would have lost money off your initial transaction, but you still would have preserved half of what you had left. People, this is emotions, letting emotions get the best of you. Don't let emotions get the best of you. Don't let FOMO creep in and just entice you to jump into different investments like crypto, like penny stocks that you don't understand. don't get emotional. I don't care how catchy that song is. This is my promise to you. If you start investing and if you follow these rules of investing and you start investing into something and you start expanding into different investments, you start exploring other opportunities and just let investing run its course, you're going to become a millionaire. In fact, you should become a multi-millionaire. The only ones that don't is because they're just not doing. They keep talking about it, but they don't take actions, and you gotta take action. You can't be stuck with that butt pew mentality that I mentioned earlier, but the key is to start investing, start putting your money to work for you, and let your brain and mind expand, because there are so many other ways to grow and hack your wealth. All right, y'all, hope you enjoyed this wealth board video. Until next time, peace.